So, what I want to talk about today is some things that I said in the past and some perceptions that have been uh, pointed out to me. People's perceptions of what they're seeing. And I want to talk about that just a little bit. So, in one of my past videos, I said it's scary. It's scary. This thought is scary. And then at the same time, though, I said in another video, if you see this, don't be scared of it, right? So it's kind of contradiction. It's a contradiction. And I recognize that now because somebody pointed it out to me. I want to explain that just a little bit, because when I say it's scary, I'm not saying that I'm afraid of death. I'm not. I accept that. That's a part of life. I am human, though. So the idea of it ending and not really knowing what's next couldn't be a scary thought. Does that mean that I'm not going to do something to... Does that mean I'm going to stay in my shell and not talk about things? I don't think so. So this person brought up yin and yang. And if you don't know what that is, it's a symbol. And in the symbol, it's a circle. And it's split in half. One half is black and the other half is white. And then within those, there's two smaller circles. Within the black, there's a white circle. And within the white, there's a black circle. Which is pretty much just saying, there's good and evil in everything. In everything. So, from their perception, what it seemed like they were saying was that I'm just pointing out the negative. And I appreciate having this conversation with them because I wanted to see their perspective, but I had to continue thinking about what is it that I need to take from this. Something that was pointed out was it could be perceived as if I'm attacking a certain group of people in some of my videos, which is understandable. I understand that because, guys, when this was said, it made me question myself because I don't want to attack anybody. So I really had to question myself, and if you go back and see the literature that I'm talking about, I did talk about a certain book, and honestly, guys, that's the one that I read the most. It's the one I analyzed the most because that was my life growing up. I have 8 of these books because people kept giving them to me because they thought there was something I needed to see, and there was. I read them. I liked them. There's so much knowledge in those. I'm not trying to attack your beliefs or your ideologies. I'm just questioning them. I want to understand. I want to know more. So, when I say that everybody is fallible, I mean me too. I'm not perfect. So, and I don't think anybody is. I believe that Jesus was perfect. I believe that Buddha was perfect. And I bring up these great people from the past because I admire them. They stepped out of their comfort zone to point out what they're seeing and try to make change. Bob Marley, JFK, Martin Luther King, Gandhi. I admire these people. Do I want to be these people? I don't know, guys. I think it would be cool to be remembered for trying to do something positive. That would be cool. I don't want to be remembered for attacking you, though, because that's not my intent. So, the person who was talking to me about some of the stuff I was talking about, they did say to me that, they only watch half of my videos. So, with the yin and yang, I acknowledge that the first half of my videos can come off negative. They bring up feelings because I'm saying, look at this. You can bring up feelings, I understand that. But I'm not just focusing on the negative. The reason I talk about this is because of the positive. When I see the future, I don't see hellfire, brimstone, civil war, world war. I don't see that. I see everybody on the planet doing what they're passionate about. And for me, that is a beautiful world. When I see people work for 30 years to save up enough money to go to Paris, I admire your goal. I admire your ambition. I wish it didn't take 30 years, though. I wish that you could just go to Paris and feel safe. That's the world that I see. I see us all doing what we're so passionate about that we can go to space. Because nobody's controlling anybody. We're able to just be who we are and do what we're good at. But at the same time, trust those around us that all they're doing is what they're passionate about and what they're good at. I see a world where it doesn't end. We can go as far as we want. The reason I point out what I'm seeing now, though, is because it does seem like the pattern that we're on is we're just attacking each other. So when this person was talking to me, they did say something along the lines of just be careful what you say, be careful how you are challenging people because they might perceive it some type of way. Which in that moment, it made me feel fearful. Oh my gosh, I might offend the wrong person. And that became a distraction. For a short amount of time, I feared possibility. And it was pointed out that you have a God complex. And when I point, I'm me. That I have a God complex. Because I believe that the masses can be reached. If that makes me have a God complex, then okay, I have a God complex. Do I think I'm a God? No. I don't think I'm above or beneath anybody. I just want people to talk. I want to learn. I want to understand. So, if I offended you, I'm not going to apologize because that's not on me. I've been offended, and I acknowledged it. What I find interesting is that for the past 3 weeks, I had been feeling bliss. I felt confident. I felt like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Then I interacted with somebody who cares about me, and they challenged my boundaries, questioned my beliefs, and it made me feel some type of way. I went from bliss to I don't want to do this anymore. I want it to end. I want it to stop. And then I woke up and I was thinking about it. The yin and yang kept going through my head, yin and yang. I don't want to be seen as somebody who just thinks about the negative, because I don't. When I'm thinking about the pain that I see, yes, that's negative. But I point it out because I do sincerely believe it can end. The people that I've spent my life with, we've all been in situations where it wasn't so positive. So, for example, an experience I had was at one point in my life, I was obsessed with death. I took the psychopath test and I passed. And what I mean I pass is they would have deemed me a psychopath had a professional questioned that, and I got that. I would have got that diagnosis. I wanted to kill things. And when I killed things, even small things, guys, hunting, putting animals down, when I did that, I felt excited. I felt good about it. I felt strong. I ended this thing's life. But over time, I changed. Now I don't even want to kill a spider because I value life. Change is possible. The only way I was able to change, though, was somebody said, "What are you doing? Why are you doing that?" Of course, it got brought up. Think about the children. If a child sees these, how are you going to affect them? And I do think about that. I want the pain to stop for them too. So I think of the statue. If you've seen the statue where the guy is sitting and holding the world and looking at it. What does that mean? Just looking at the world, just observing the world, trying to understand the world. That's all I'm doing. I'm not trying to judge anybody, but I am trying to challenge people. Because I do believe that if we're stuck in our ways, we're never going to move forward. When I said I've checked my bias, I sincerely believe that in that moment. But when somebody pointed out to me, you've lived this life, of course you're going to advocate for that, for people to not judge homosexuals. Of course you're going to advocate for that. Guys, yeah, I'm going to advocate for people to not be hurt because of who they are. And I find it kind of funny that me asking people who are strong-willed and believing that this is the way, me questioning that is more offensive than me saying, please stop attacking people. I do find that kind of interesting. So after that conversation, I did want to stop. Because 20 years from now, I might look back at this and say, what was I thinking? But right now, this is what I'm feeling. Right now, this is what I'm seeing. And right now, this is what I'm doing. I'm okay with that. I expect to be judged. I do, because that's what we do. We all do it. But no, I'm not scared of possibility. The idea of a violent end can be intimidating. But just because that might happen doesn't mean I'm going to stop being who I am. So that's where I'm going to end today. Sorry if you couldn't see my eyes, it's cold. I'm just covering. So I hope that I have the opportunity to read more books and question more. But I've said in my videos, I'm never going to take anything for 100% when it is. Any statement, any book. And is me saying that I question what I read in these books wrong? That if you believe that, you're wrong? No. If you believe that, there's a reason you believe that. We are all on our own path to understanding. This one happens to be mine. Mine is to go against the grain and question everything, because I'm not afraid of possibility. I do believe in a higher power, and like I've said, I don't ever want to speak for God, because I don't think that God is... That's something that I can't fully understand, which was pointed out to me, and I appreciate that. I will never fully understand my higher power. But when I label my higher power, it is simply love. That's all I care about, is connectedness, togetherness, love. For me, that is what directs my path. That is what motivates me to act. I'm not saying don't believe in your God. You believe in it for a reason. All I'm saying is, think before you act. Question. Question me. I'm questioning you. You have the right to question me. So that's all. Again, I hope that you're living your best life. I hope you're happy. I hope you're content. I hope you're passionate. And I hope you're pursuing your passion. Because, guys, ultimately, all I want is to go to the stars. That would be amazing to do that in my lifetime. I want to see a neutron star that's not a blurry picture. I want to be able to fly by Jupiter and see how magnificent and huge it is. I want our scientists to be able to study a black hole because they can see it. I don't want to be confined. I don't want to be controlled, and I don't want you to be confined, and I don't want you to be controlled. And I do believe that some of our ideologies and beliefs confine us and control us. I don't want you to change what you believe, but I don't want your beliefs to confine you. All right.